Good afternoon, folks. The conference committee is reconvening from its 10:30 schedule on SB 1183 to 1:30 p.m. relating to taxation. At this point, the chair recognizes the WEM chair, Takuda.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have been looking over the proposed CD1 that was floated by the House Conference Committee members. We want to again thank you for looking at this very innovative and creative approach. And first of all, we do want to tell you that again, we really do appreciate that you've really considered many of the concerns that have been raised throughout this session as it's passed through our committees, especially the money committees, in terms of looking at the regressivity of the GET. We have heard time and time again, Chair Luke, when you and I have taken testimony from literally, I swear it was hundreds of members of the public, they've told us the difficulties they've experienced if we were to consider extending the GET surcharge. The approach you folks have taken is a creative one that we've been asking and waiting for. As we've asked the city and county and HART to look at different sources of funding. I think we've even raised the TAT, the city's portion at least, as one possibility. So the fact that this is now an approach that you folks have brought forward is one that I think we really would like to consider. That being said, if you would be open to some possible friendly suggestions. We just have a few things. One of the things that we are taking a look at, if you would be open to some friendly amendments, I know it was mentioned that in terms of looking at reducing the county's share of the TAT revenues from 93 million to 80 million, that it would be distributed as such. We think it is only fair that the city and county of Honolulu bear that $13 million reduction in whole, and that the other counties keep their share of that breakdown as if it were still at that $93 million level. I think that is only fair given that this project is for the city and county of Honolulu, and that it would not disproportionately impact the neighbor island counties. So in that sense, it would be as if for the other counties on the neighbor islands, they were still at that $93 million level. So it would come from the city and county Honolulu share of their TAT in terms of the full 13 million. So that would be what we would recommend in terms of the TAT split for the counties and where that portion would come from, the $13 million. We would also like to remove the non-severability section. I think that is part 7 in the bill, or section 13. Looks like there's a storm warning coming from Representative McDermott. Not sure what that means. And I believe that is all the amendments we would like to put forward, and just make it very clarifying and clear that in terms of these languages, that this is limited to 10 years in terms of when these portions would be, in terms of the fact that this $13 million reduction from Honolulu would come strictly from Honolulu and not from the neighbor islands. And with that, I think we're comfortable with the amendments you've put forward. Again, we do appreciate that this really is looking at making sure that those that have been most impacted by the regressivity of the GET would not further be impacted. It's a very creative approach. It is still one that is fiscally prudent and would challenge HART and the City and County of Honolulu to be mindful of their budget, but does provide resources for real at the same time. This has been a very difficult session. It has entangled many other issues into this one issue, it seems. Almost personally at times for me, it seems. But I do appreciate all the hard work you folks have put into it. And I thank you very much for what you folks have put forward. So if you would be open to these amendments, I think.
Well, thank you, Chair, for those amendments. And it's certainly a pleasure to work with all of you on this measure. And, you know, again, it was very difficult But taking into consideration all the different moving parts, we feel that this measure is something that we can all live with. Yeah, Chair? Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So at this point, we will accept the amendments.
Okay, good. So we can vote. You want me to vote? Did you? Oh, you can take the vote. Yeah, you take the vote.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you for the consideration. Then the Senate is ready for its vote, and I will take the vote for the Senate as well. SB 1183 is considering the recommendation from both managers to pass with amendments with a CD1. And Chair will say aye. Co-Chair Nishihara.
Aye.
Okay. Co-Chair Tokuda.
Aye.
Okay. Member Dela Cruz.
Aye.
Okay. May I take it for the House?
Please, Chair.
Okay. House Managers, Co-Chair Aquino.
Aye.
Okay. Co-Chair Luke.
Aye.
Okay. Member McDermott.
Reservations.
Okay. We have a bill.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations,
Yes.
Chair.
SB 1183 is adjourned.